Hazel Basil, what are you doing?
What are you doing in there?
Why are you in your bedroom?
Come here.
Hi.
Hazel, come here. What is she doing?
Come say hi to our new friends. Oh, Galicia fur. This is our first fur baby. She loves napping. Oh, and here's the man of the house, Atticus Finch. Addie. Say hi to all your future fans. This is the jerk of the house. But he's the cutest jerk.
He's not a jerk to people.
No, he's only a jerk to his siblings, his sisters.
Other animals.
Addie. Addie Finch. Hello.
Hi.
It's been a while, but we're back.
Yeah, it's been a while. I think it's now February, and I think our last update was in October. So for that, we suck.
Yeah.
I think we left you off last, but right before we were meeting with our doctor to go over next steps. All right.
Yep. So next steps, we had our third, I say we, Sam had her third IUI with Clomid and negative 3 times. So next steps were, what do we want to do? So the doctor said that it was medically appropriate for us to choose either another IUI or IVF. She suggested another IUI because she didn't see a reason why it wouldn't work. And then she just increased the Clomid a little bit, and per our request, she also prescribed progesterone.
I'd been told I might have low progesterone, but they hadn't rechecked the numbers. And our fertility office doesn't really go by that very often, but they do prescribe it. So she said she didn't think it would hurt. It just has some side effects that aren't always the most fun thing. So we went for it. We tried that. So we did our 4th IUI in early November. And we found out on Thanksgiving morning when we were out of town staying with my mom, and all of Jill's family was in town there too. We found out that we were pregnant.
Yep.
So that was surprising. I don't think we expected it, just because we had 3 no's, which we know isn't that long. We had 3 no's of IUI. We had 2 no's of ICI trying at home. So it's not that long 5 times before, but it felt like a long time, and it was drawn over a lot of months. So I think we were really surprised. So
yeah.
And excited, but I was a little trepidatious. And so we had our first ultrasound with a reproductive endocrinologist. I think it was at 6 weeks, and we saw it was right at the right size, and we saw the heartbeat, but it was too soon to hear it. And then we went back at 8 weeks, and it had stopped growing a couple days after the last ultrasound, and there was no heartbeat. So, but because I was in the progesterone, we didn't know. So that was the Friday before Christmas. So it made for a kind of a bummer Christmas. We still tried to enjoy it. You know, my family came in and we celebrated with Jill's family, and so it was good to have something to preoccupy us.
Yeah, and we both had time off together. I'm a teacher, so I had winter break, and then Sam took off some time between Christmas and New Year's, so we were able to deal with all of that and spend time with family and let Sam recoup from the procedure and just kind of get back to a more physically normal.
Took a while.
Yeah, that took a little bit. And I feel like I think we're back to more of an emotionally normal feeling now. That took a little while, but we're feeling pretty okay, I think. I mean, it sucks. I'm not gonna say it's okay.
Yeah,
like, it sucked, but
we had some harder days and weeks, but going through that, you just find out so many people have had miscarriages, and so many more people then talk about it, and everyone comes out of the woodwork. That happened to me, and you're not alone, and I'm here for you. And so it was really wonderful. I feel, kind of heartbroken for everyone that's gone through it, but unfortunately it's a pretty big club. Not a club you want to be in, but unfortunately one that we found ourselves in. So our doctor, I asked her if it was something we should be worried about that I had a miscarriage, and she said it was just more of actually a positive that I'd actually gotten pregnant than a negative. So I guess that's good. That's some silver lining. And I always try to find the silver lining in a situation. So I guess that, I can get pregnant. The doctor said you can get pregnant, and that's always a concern. So that was good. And we know that wasn't meant to be for us. That wasn't the right time. So
just wasn't our baby.
We'll get there.
Yep.
So our plan had been to do one more IUI, which we did. And then after that, if it didn't work, we were going to do IVF. So I switched over to Jill's insurance, which is, we're very lucky, and it's really good with fertility coverage. So IUI is quite covered. Just a little bit of the medication, and then
IVF.
some. Yeah, what did I say?
IUI.
IVF.
I mean,
IUI, actually. I think.
That's not as covered, I don't feel like.
No, I feel like we had a lot more out of pocket for IUI
Yeah.
than IVF, which is strange. Even a lot of the medications were covered, which we know is not the case. We've got friends who've paid $6,000 a month for medications, and we've paid a couple hundred. So
yeah,
we're very lucky there. We do have certain things that won't be covered through insurance that we're going to have to pay, but we know it's a drop in the bucket compared to what we would have to pay, or what many others have to pay when insurance doesn't cover it. So we're extremely lucky. But because of, some of my fertility numbers, IVF isn't a bad way to go. Our doctor fully supports this and is happy we're trying. So so we met with her after recovering from the miscarriage and everything that goes along with it, and she outlined a plan and made sure that I was physically better in order to go through it. And so we had what they call an Ivf Boot Camp.
that was fun.
You want to talk about that?
Yeah. So that was like almost an entire day of meetings and appointments with all of the specialists in every aspect of IVF. So we met with
The therapist.
the therapist, which is in the state of Illinois required to visit a therapist before using donor material, which we did before our IUIs, and then required again for beginning IVF process, just because it's a big process and it can be emotionally draining. So they just
Actually,
required.
I think it was really good for us though, because we had just had the miscarriage, and they said the not only the process is more, but the hormones and there's just a little more higher stakes with IVF. People just feel more like higher stakes with it. So I think it was good to kind of help put a reality check on
kind of puts it in perspective, like
exactly.
What are you actually getting into, which I think we were prepared for. Like, we've been thinking about IVF for a little while now, and we had done a lot of research on it, and we had watched a lot of YouTube on it, but it was helpful to have a professional say, understand that these feelings will come up again, and you will address those hardships again, and that's okay. So I feel like even though we knew it, we were like, oh yeah, that's nice to hear somebody say that, and it's
Yeah,
nice to
I
be.
think it was a good.
It's a good
appointment.
validation of like
Yeah.
our feelings. So
Yeah.
that was really nice.
So we had that.
We had that. We met with, of course, our doctor. Both of us had some lab work done for future planning of egg retrievals, since we're both going to go through egg retrieval eventually. Our cat is visiting.
Xanacus.
And we met with the nurse to go over the tentative schedule of shots. So she went through what we can expect with the shots. We met with the financial coordinator. I don't know what I don't know what her actual title is.
She went over the benefits,
the benefit plan
that we have, and then
you gotta move it.
what we can expect. Wasn't like exact numbers, but you know, she said from what she's seen, from what the plan we have, we can expect these things to be covered and these not to be covered. And then there are certain things at our center, our fertility center, that just they don't even submit a claim through insurance, because they're like things that aren't ever covered. So
Yeah.
she gave us the prices on those and what to expect. They ran over the pricing for you know, like storage of embryos, and also what's it called, the genetic screening
or testing,
which is extremely expensive,
outrageous,
and optional. It's not like mandatory, and our doctor didn't feel it was necessary, but we were curious about it,
and basically it's never covered. Like I was like, even if we need it someday, and she was like, nope, not covered. So but that's good to know.
Very expensive.
It was nice meeting with the financial person, just to go over that, understand what the benefits were, even though we had a pretty good understanding of what my work benefits were, which is why Sam switched over to my benefit package. Sorry, Atticus just wants to be part of this, so he's just gonna be part of it.
And then we met with the pharmacist. You didn't say that, did you?
Nope, the pharmacist, I think, was the last person that we had met with.
We'd already met with the doctor and the nurse, and they went over kind of what the medication protocol would look like for me. And then we met with the pharmacist, who showed us exactly what it would look like, which medications. Some of them come in a pen, some of them, you know, you use different needles and all that stuff. So they had that, and they had the little thing that looked like a little piece of like you know, like a
it was like a fake like flab
fake thing that was like this big around that looked like squishy skin almost, to
like,
practice with a needle in, and
practice skin.
Practice skin. They said it had like a sponge in it that you can take out and squeeze out, and you're just injecting water into it. But Jill's really nervous about helping with the injections, so she practiced on that and she felt much better.
Yeah, I got to load up a syringe and then shoot it into this fake flab. It was awesome.
I've had to give injections before, so I was okay with it.
You really should have tried though. That was fun.
So anyway, we went through all of that. The appointment was like a full half day. It was at least 4 hours. But luckily, they require everyone who's going to go through IVF to do it. They call it Ivf Boot Camp, to require to do the appointments. But luckily, they put us in as if we were both doing it. So we only had to sit through 1 4-hour block of appointments instead of 2 for when Jill's ready to do an egg retrieval. So that kind of felt really good. And like we got 2 birds with 1 stone there.
Yeah.
Which was great. So they outlined a plan and gave me a tentative date, and told me when to come in to do the baseline screening for blood work and ultrasound. Gave me all the prescriptions, and then we started on the journey of finding out how it was covered, because through our insurance, you have to use their specialty pharmacy, and our clinic has their own specialty pharmacy. So it was a lot of calling around, and a couple of days worth of, you know, a couple hours on the phone working on that. So. But we've got a lot of friends who've gone through IVF, and we talked to them about the best ways they handled that. So we got a lot of suggestions there, which was very helpful. Only one of our medications isn't covered, and thank goodness, isn't a terribly expensive one. So a
For
couple
a
$100.
For a minute, we thought we were going to be spending a whole lot more on medication, which still would have been a lot cheaper than what a lot of people have to pay. So, I mean, we're extremely grateful that we got lucky in that aspect. But, yeah, only one drug ended up not being covered. So that was helpful.
That was very helpful. And that one will be, I think, just a couple $100 per cycle. So
yeah,
that's not bad. And then the co-pays on the rest are really, we're so lucky.
Yeah.
So we are very lucky with that. And that's why Jill's going to do egg retrieval really soon, because we just want to have everything on ice.
Yeah.
And not have to worry about it in the future, you know. Don't have to worry about what kind of insurance we have and all that. So
yeah.
So yeah, we went through all of that, got the medications lined up, and then, was it 2 weeks ago?
I have Atticus fur in my eye. Okay.
2 weeks ago, I had to go in for a baseline screening, and my numbers were too high. They weren't, like my estrogen and everything was too high. It wasn't quite where they wanted it to be, which is normal for your cycle, so they just made me wait a week. You okay?
Yeah, he's got that like really soft, fine, sticky fur, and it just like clings. Is it good? I think it's good. Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead. Baseline 2 weeks ago.
Okay, so baseline 2 weeks ago was a no-go, which was kind of a bummer because they had us. They told us to have the medications at our house for that evening.
Ready to go.
Ready to go. Because they said that I would start that day. And it turns out that wasn't the case. So we wasted like $200 worth of medication, which is really upsetting.
Yeah. Especially because that was the one drug that wasn't covered.
Yeah, it has a really short shelf life, like 9 days. So they made me wait a week. And then after that second baseline, I was given the go-ahead, but they told me to start the next night. So, which meant we had 1 day left with that medication. So
mention the medication.
It's a microdose Lupron, which is the protocol for someone who is probably going to be a bad responder to stimulants, which is where I'm at because of my ovarian reserve number.
Mispredictability.
Yeah. Because my ovarian reserve is lower, that's the protocol that they use. So they use a microdose Lupron, which is why it wasn't covered by insurance.
And also it's something that is, I believe, powder form, and they have to actually mix it at the pharmacy.
I think it's powder form.
Yeah, that's what makes it microdose. It's extremely...
a compound.
Isn't that what it is? Oh.
No, they have the Lupron, and then they have to mix it with, I believe, saline in order to make it a
Scratch
smaller
that.
dose.
Not a powder form, but a compound. So Lupron, but then mixed with something else to make it a microdose, which is why it has a shorter shelf life. And, right? Isn't that why it's shorter shelf life?
I'm not a pharmacist.
I don't know. Ask pharmacists.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I know that's why it's not covered, because it's a compound medication. But, and I'm assuming that's why it's...
I believe so, because they have to mix it, and then from that day that they mix it, you have 9 days.
Right.
So, it's not...
It's weird, though. Where we ordered it from gives you 9 days, and they give you a vial that's half the size of every other specialty pharmacy that we talk to, and every other specialty pharmacy says you have 14 days. But our pharmacy gives you a vial that's half the amount of the other pharmacies, and then they send you a complimentary vial for the other half of the amount 9 days later. So luckily we were able to stall the complimentary vial until I got the green light on starting my medication. So we only lost half of the amount, which is really lucky.
Oh, that's true. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, but we're still gonna have to order a refill of it because it only lasts 9 days, and we're not gonna have enough to get through the whole protocol.
Yeah.
So we started that last week, and then we started the stimulants 4 days ago. So I'm on day 4. and it's been fine. The injections aren't bad. They sting a little bit. I've got some bruising, but nothing we didn't expect.
Yeah.
I've been giving myself the shots, but Jill comes in and watches.
I'm the cheerleader.
Making sure I'm doing everything right, giving myself all of them. I have 1 shot in the morning and 3 shots in the evening. And that's a hard part. I had to set my alarm over the weekend to wake up to give myself the shot, because you have to do it within an hour of the time that you've been giving yourselves the shot. And
not only do you get to wake up early on the weekend, but you also get to give yourself a shot.
It's very enjoyable.
Yay.
And then once I'm up, my cats insist on being fed. So it's hard, and I'm not good at going back to sleep. So I was up pretty early on Sunday.
I'm good at staying
Saturday.
asleep. I'm sorry.
That's okay. But yeah, then I usually get stuck at work late a couple days a week, and I don't have the luxury of just kind of getting my work done whenever. I've been having to rush out and make sure I get home. We have bad traffic, so it's always a stressor to me. As we get to the end of the day, I just have to cut and go. If I'm not done with my work, I have to bring it home. So I'm trying to stay on top of.
Works for me.
On top of that.
You get home
Yeah.
at a reasonable hour, which is nice.
Sometimes I get home at like 5 and sometimes it's 7. So we don't have that luxury right now. I'm trying to get home by 6 every day. So 5:30, 6 o'clock. So I had my first monitoring appointment today, where they checked how everything was looking and checked my blood work. And we got a reply this afternoon saying that they see a couple follicles on either side, and that they want me to up the medication, one of the medications, and then I have to go back in 2 days. So we don't know how that'll go, but you know, our doctor said she's hoping, her goal is for 5 eggs, to be able to get 5 eggs from me, which is a really small amount, but that's because I have the low ovarian reserve, or AMH. So we're really hoping to be overachievers and get over 5, but at least
hoping
5.
For 6. I think 6. That's what I'm going for.
But I really want to at least have at least the 5. So we'll see. We'll see where we get to. We're planning on freezing everything and then doing another egg retrieval if we're able to next month. We just want to keep all of our expectations really real. We know we're not going to have, we're not going to be one of those couples that has 20 eggs.
Nope.
Or probably even 10. Yeah. Yeah, so that's right for me. So we'll give you guys updates. I just did the increased dose tonight, so we'll see if I have more side effects. I've just had some like discomfort and a little bloating, but other than that, everything's been fine, I think.
Yeah, I think it's been going really well. I feel like what I thought it would be was a lot of like, I don't know, dramatization that you see on like movies and TV shows of like.
I was even reading blogs today from some people who've done it, and they were talking about how they cried every night when their husbands or wives were giving them shots. And
maybe that'll be me though. I'd probably be the crier.
I'm just not.
I don't know.
I'm not overly. I don't know. I'm not squeamish. I'm not bothered by shots. None of that bothers me. So while it's not necessarily comfortable, I'm fine. And I don't think you're going to be crying.
No, I don't think so either. I'm just going to be like whiny about it. Like, I don't want to.
I don't think so.
No?
No, I don't think so. Maybe. We'll see.
Well, I know that you guys will get to see, probably in a couple of days after you're seeing this, the whole procedure of like Sam setting up her shots and administering them. And how she really is a champion. She does a really great job. You do.
I have a really high pain tolerance.
I don't know what it is. You got some kind of magic.
I do. I don't, pain doesn't bother me. I've been told that from, oral surgeon and nurses and doctors, that just pain doesn't bother me the way it does others. I mean, I feel it for sure.
Which is why she's going to carry and give birth first.
This one is...
I'm a baby.
She's a baby.
I cry at a pap smear, so we'll see how pregnancy goes someday for me, because it's going to be bad.
Yeah. Yeah. And at our IVF boot camp, our doctor decided to check Jill's hormone levels, and we happened to find out that she also has low ovarian reserve, so low AMH, which, what are the odds? We joke that we're the worst lesbian couple.
Yeah,
because we both have low ovarian reserve.
Yeah, you would think that with 2 uteri, probably not, that we would be like better lesbian.
We'd have higher odds?
TTCing.
Yeah, no.
But no, actually we have worse odds.
Yeah. So that's where we're at. Yeah.
Yeah.
We will be better at updating. We'll make more updates as this IVF cycle goes along, and see where we end up at in a few weeks. See if we're gonna do another egg retrieval. So we'll definitely keep the updates coming.
Yeah, we say that, but we really will this time.
Yeah.
We got a new camera and I'm pretty excited about it, so.
She got a new camera for Christmas, so she's excited to use it.
Yep. Per Living Rosa and Keeping Up with the Canopics referral for the camera. So I guess we should wrap this up. It's been a pretty long vlog. Let us know if you have any questions about what we have mentioned here. If you are going through IVF or you are just finishing up your IUI journey, comment down below and just let us connect with you. That's what we want to do here with YouTube. We want to connect with others and give information, get information.
We feel like there's so much to find out. There's so much that we've had to seek out in this journey, and a lot of it we've known people who've gone through and they've given us little bits here and there, and a lot of it we've had to find out on our own. So if there's things you want to know that we might have already learned, let us know. We're still very much in the middle of this process, but we want to help others so they don't have to, do as much legwork as we did to find out everything we found out. So if you have any questions or words of wisdom or anything like that, just let us know.
Yeah. Like this video if you liked it. Subscribe if you haven't. And hopefully we will... Sorry, I'm laughing because our cat is hilarious. And we will see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.